Lonzo Ball hasn't worn a Lakers jersey in years, but that didn't stop him from opening up about one of the most iconic players he's ever shared the court with, LeBron James. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Now serving as a reserve guard for the Chicago Bulls, Lonzo recently got candid about LeBron during an episode of the WAE show, the podcast he co-hosts alongside his brother LiAngelo Ball, DMO, and Anthony Salazar. And what he said caught the attention of fans around the league. Even though LeBron James is now 40 years old, the oldest active player in the NBA, and hasn't made it out of the first round of the playoffs since 2023, Lonzo still believes that King James is the face of the league. "I still think it's Bron personally," Lonzo said during the podcast. "If you turn your TV on, you're gonna see something about Bron or the Lakers every single day. When you think about the NBA, like who the first name comes into your mind, type S. And let's be honest, he's not wrong. LeBron's presence goes far beyond what happens on the court. Whether it's highlights from his latest game, behind-the-scenes footage from Lakers practice, comments from his interviews, or even what he wore walking into the arena, LeBron is constantly in the spotlight. Even in a league full of rising stars, his name dominates the headlines. But it's not just hype. LeBron is still putting in the work. In the 2024-25 NBA season, he suited up for 70 games with the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that finished the regular season at 50-32. Despite being in his 40s, the 6'9" forward put up impressive stats: 24.4 points per game on 51.3% shooting from the field, 37.6% from beyond the arc, and 78.2% from the free throw line. Add to that 8.2 assists and 7.8 rebounds a night, and it's clear that LeBron's game hasn't faded, it's simply evolved. That said, he's no longer carrying the Lakers the way he once did. This past season, LeBron took on more of a secondary role. The main star of the team had been 10-time All-Star Anthony Davis, 8 years younger and still in his physical prime, before he left the franchise. And now, with the arrival of Luka Doncic, a 5-time All-NBA first-team selection and 14 years younger than LeBron, the passing of the torch in Los Angeles feels more real than ever. Still, LeBron continues to be one of the league's most influential players, both on and off the court. His basketball IQ is unmatched. His ability to control the pace of a game, find open teammates, and deliver in clutch moments remains elite. Even as his defense and stamina have declined with age, he finds ways to impact winning. And that's exactly what makes him so special. He's adapted. From explosive dunks to precise three-pointers, LeBron has transformed his game to suit the times and preserve his effectiveness. Now let's talk about Lonzo for a moment. The 6'6" guard from Chino Hills, California was once seen as the future of the Lakers. Selected second overall in the 2017 NBA draft by then-team president Magic Johnson, ahead of players like Jason Tatum, Lonzo entered the league with high expectations. His court vision, passing ability, and basketball IQ made him a standout prospect. But his journey took a sharp turn just a couple of years later. Lonzo was one of the key pieces sent to the New Orleans Pelicans in the blockbuster trade that brought Anthony Davis to LA. That deal changed the course of the Lakers franchise, helping them win the 2020 championship, but it also sent Lonzo down a path filled with both promise and pain. In 2021, he signed a lucrative free agent deal with the Chicago Bulls. And early on, it looked like he had found his place. Through 35 games, Lonzo was playing some of the best basketball of his career, a reliable 3 and D guard who could also initiate the offense and lock down opponents on the defensive end. Then, disaster struck. Lonzo suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee, an injury that would lead to not 1, not 2, but 3 surgeries over the course of the next 2.5 years. He was forced to sit out multiple seasons, and doubts began to grow about whether he'd ever play again. Finally, this past season, he made his return to the court, appearing in 35 games for the Bulls. And while he showed flashes of his defensive brilliance, his offensive rhythm just wasn't there. The rust was real, and the road to full recovery is still ongoing. But through it all, Lonzo has kept his perspective, and his respect for those who paved the way. Especially LeBron. Their time together on the Lakers during the 2018-19 season was brief, but clearly impactful. LeBron's leadership, his work ethic, and his media presence left an impression on the young point guard. And now, years later, even as Lonzo works to revive his own career, he hasn't forgotten the lessons learned during that time. In a league that moves fast and rarely looks back, It says something when a player like Lonzo Ball, who's faced so much adversity, still takes a moment to recognize greatness. So whether you love him or love to hate him, one thing's for sure, LeBron James is still at the center of the NBA universe. And for players like Lonzo Ball, he always will be. Anthony Davis may no longer wear the purple and gold, but he's still leaving his mark in Los Angeles. In what became one of the biggest shocks of the NBA offseason, the Lakers traded away their all-star big man, the same player who helped them capture the 2020 championship, to the Dallas Mavericks. In return, they landed superstar guard Luka Doncic, a generational talent with the kind of offensive firepower and court vision that can redefine a franchise. It was a bold move, a risky one, and for many Lakers fans, a heartbreaking one. Anthony Davis wasn't just another player. He was the core of the Lakers' post-Lebron vision, the big man who was supposed to anchor the team for years to come. He brought defensive dominance, interior scoring, and leadership on and off the court. When healthy, he was arguably the most complete two-way player in the league. His performances during the 2020 bubble playoffs were nothing short of legendary, including game-winning shots and defensive heroics that helped deliver banner number 17. So when the news of his trade broke, it wasn't just a roster shakeup, it was an emotional earthquake. Fans were left stunned. Analysts were speechless. The NBA world took a collective pause. And then, something unexpected happened. Just weeks after the deal was finalized, Anthony Davis was seen back at the Lakers' training facility. It was a quiet moment. No media press conference, no statements. Just a few candid photos and videos that surfaced online. But those brief glimpses told a powerful story. He walked through the familiar halls, greeted former teammates and staff, and stood once again on the court where he gave his all for 5 unforgettable seasons. Was it just a farewell visit? A final goodbye? Or was it something deeper, an emotional closure to a chapter that meant more than just basketball? As if to mark the occasion, Davis debuted a brand new haircut shortly after the visit, a symbolic fresh start, perhaps. Social media lit up with speculation. Some fans viewed it as a personal reset. Others wondered if it was just coincidence. But one thing was certain, Davis was no longer a Laker, yet his connection to the franchise remained. Because some legacies don't end with a trade. Anthony Davis helped reshape the Lakers after the post-Kobe Bryant era. He and LeBron James brought winning back to Los Angeles. They brought relevance, defense, and most importantly, results. For years, Davis was expected to carry the baton when LeBron eventually stepped away. That plan has now changed. But that doesn't erase what he accomplished. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, a new chapter is being written. Luka Doncic now holds the keys to the kingdom. And he's ready. At just 25 years old, Doncic has already become one of the most feared players in the league. His ability to take over games, create offense from nothing, and lead with passion has captivated fans worldwide. He's not just a scorer, he's a basketball savant. And now, he wears a Lakers jersey. The trade may have stunned many, but make no mistake, the Lakers didn't just make a move for today. They made a move for the next decade. Doncic represents the next face of the franchise. The next superstar in a long lineage of Lakers greats. Magic, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron. And now, Doncic. But with great talent comes great pressure. Los Angeles isn't a city that settles for playoff berths. It demands parades. The front office knows this. And that's why every decision this summer matters. Reports suggest the Lakers are already working on a long-term extension for Doncic, a deal that could lock him in through his prime. But keeping a superstar happy takes more than money. It requires commitment to excellence. It requires surrounding him with players who complement his style, shooters who can stretch the floor, defenders who can take pressure off him, and big men who can protect the rim in Davis's absence. There's talk of the Lakers targeting veteran centers, versatile wings, and reliable second-unit scorers. The roster is expected to look very different by the time training camp begins. And every move made will be scrutinized under the unforgiving spotlight of Los Angeles. Because for the Lakers, the bar is always the same, championship or bust. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis begins his next journey in Dallas, joining Kyrie Irving and a Mavericks squad eager to climb the Western Conference ladder. In many ways, it's a perfect fit. Luka Doncic and Davis never shared the court in Los Angeles, but they've essentially swapped destinies. Davis now has a chance to remind the league why he was once considered the best big man in the game. And with less pressure and a new environment, he may just unlock a new level of dominance. But back in Los Angeles, the future is already taking shape. Doncic is expected to take the reins immediately. He's not here to rebuild, he's here to contend. With LeBron James nearing 40 and playing on a year-to-year basis, the window to win is shrinking. That urgency will define every game, every possession, and every choice the Lakers make from this moment forward. Fans know this. They feel it. And they expect results. They watched Doncic torch defenses in Dallas. Now they want to see him do it in purple and gold, on the biggest stage, in front of the brightest lights, chasing the most coveted prize in basketball. As for Anthony Davis, his time in Los Angeles may be over, but his legacy lives on. His impact is etched into the walls of Crypto.com Arena. His presence is still felt in the culture, in the banners, in the memories of fans who watched him dominate night after night. His quick return to the facility was more than just a visit, it was a reminder of everything he gave. A quiet goodbye. A respectful nod to a city that embraced him as one of its own. And now, a new era begins. Luka Doncic. A new face. A new mission. A familiar pressure. The stage is set. The torch has been passed. And the City of Angels is once again dreaming of banners, rings, and parades. Because in Los Angeles, stars are expected to shine, and legends are born under pressure. Rob Pelinka and the front office are facing an off-season packed with questions, and very few answers. This summer could define the future of the franchise. The Lakers entered the 2024 playoffs with high hopes. LeBron James was still playing at an elite level despite turning 39. Austin Reeves continued to show flashes of becoming a dependable two-way guard. But when the lights were brightest, it all fell apart. Minnesota exposed every flaw, lack of depth, lack of consistent shooting, and an inability to protect the rim against bigger, more physical teams. And now, here we are. Luka Doncic may have just landed in LA, but here's the thing, he's only guaranteed for one more year in purple and gold. He holds a player option worth $46 million for the following season. That means, by next summer, Doncic could walk away. And with LeBron James turning 40 and possibly weighing retirement, time is running out for the Lakers to make a bold move. The clock is ticking. And the front office knows it. So what's the plan? Will the Lakers surround Doncic and LeBron with dependable role players and build a deep, well-rounded roster? Or will Pelinka take the gamble and chase one more star to create a brand new Big Three in Hollywood? It's a high-stakes decision, one that could define the next decade for the Lakers. Well, here's what we're hearing. A trade proposal floating around has fans and insiders buzzing. According to NBA trade rumors and multiple league sources, the Lakers could be eyeing a blockbuster deal that not only fills their biggest need, a starting-caliber center, but also brings in a veteran six-time NBA All-Star who's still got plenty left in the tank. So what's the trade? Los Angeles would receive DeMar DeRozan, one of the most consistent mid-range scorers of his generation and a proven veteran leader. Jonas Valanciunas, a big-bodied, bruising center who can rebound, defend, and stretch the floor when needed. And in return, the Sacramento Kings would get Rui Hachimura, a promising forward with playoff experience and a versatile skill set. Dalton Knecht, a sharpshooting rookie with significant upside. Maxi Kleber, a veteran stretch big who can help space the floor and provide interior defense. And an unprotected first-round pick in 2031, a high-value asset in a league where future flexibility is everything. That's right. If this trade goes through, the Lakers could roll out a starting five featuring Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James, and Jonas Valanciunas. A competitive lineup. A balanced attack. Star power, veteran leadership, and playoff experience, all wrapped into one. And here's what makes it even more appealing. The Lakers wouldn't be mortgaging their entire future. Pelinka and newly hired head coach J.J. Redick would suddenly have a clear, 2-year championship window, with enough firepower to make a serious run at the title. Even better. Both DeRozan and Valanciunas are on contracts that expire in 2027. That means if things don't work out, the Lakers would regain cap flexibility, just in time for a post-LeBron era, with Doncic entering his prime at 28 years old and fully ready to take the reins. On the flip side, Sacramento might be looking to hit the reset button. They've been stuck in no man's land for years, too good to tank, but not quite good enough to contend. That's the worst place to be in the NBA, the dreaded middle. Letting go of veterans like Derozan, Zach LaVine, and possibly Domantas Sabonis might finally give the Kings a clean slate. Sometimes, the smart play is to take a step back today so you can take 2 steps forward tomorrow. The return of young talent like Hachimura and Connect, along with a future pick, gives Sacramento the flexibility to retool or fully rebuild. It opens doors for new identities, new play styles, and a fresh start with draft capital and young, moldable pieces. It's a bold move for both teams. For the Lakers, this is about going all in. This is about sending a message: we're not here to wait, we're here to win. LeBron doesn't have 5 years left. Luka Doncic wants to compete now. And Lakers fans? They want banner number 18 hanging in the rafters of Crypto.com Arena. For the Kings, it's about the long game. Being stuck in mediocrity has never led to greatness. Rebuilding now could be their path to becoming real contenders down the line, especially in a Western Conference that's constantly evolving. So, will Rob Pelinka pull the trigger? Will we see Derozan suiting up in gold and purple next to LeBron and Luka Doncic? Can this revamped Lakers squad go toe-to-toe with the likes of Denver, Minnesota, and OKC in a brutal West? Or is there another surprise lurking around the corner? One thing's for sure, this offseason is far from over. The Lakers are making moves, and the rest of the NBA better pay attention. Stay tuned, because in Los Angeles, the drama is just getting started.